Okay, the next set of muscles are somewhat complicated just because it's a lot and the names can be confusing. But they are the suboccipital muscles. So here is the occiput. And so below the occiput, or just underneath it, so the suboccipital muscles. Okay, collectively are all of these on the right side and all of these on the left side. So the names are the same. Okay, so these muscles here have the same names as these muscles here. The only difference is right versus left. Okay, let's start with this one. This is the rectus capitis posterior minor. Okay, so there's a clue here. Once you have a minor listed, that also means you have to have a major. Okay, if you have a superior muscle, that means you have to have an inferior muscle. All right, so rectus capitis posterior minor. Okay, let's isolate it. Okay, now I'm picking the right side for no particular reason. The same would apply to the left. Okay, but we have origin on the atlas and insertion on the inferior nuchal line. Okay, so the inferior nuchal line is here and the superior nuchal line is there. That would be the EOP. Okay, but we're interested in this spot here. Granted, it does have an occipital attachment, but specifically on the inferior nuchal line. Rectus capitis posterior minor. Okay, then we have the rectus capitis posterior major, okay, because it is a bigger muscle. If we isolate it, you can see that this one actually goes from C2 up to the occiput. Okay, so origin is on axis or C2, and insertion is on the inferior nuchal line. Okay, next we have the obliquus capitis superior, and then later we're going to do the obliquus capitis inferior. Okay, superior because this is on top, and inferior because this one is down below. Okay, obliquus capitis superior, if we isolate it, you will notice it also has an occiput attachment. Okay, so insertion is on the occipital bone, and origin is on the transverse process of the atlas. Okay, the obliquus capitis inferior, if we isolate this one, it has its origin on the spinous process of C2, and it goes up and inserts on the transverse process of atlas. Okay. So the action, we're going to keep the action relatively simple. So collectively, These muscles are going to help with extension of the upper cervicals, and ipsilateral rotation. Ipsi meaning on the same side. So if the right muscle is contracting, then you're going to rotate to the right. If the left muscle is contracting, then you're going to rotate to the left. So that's what ipsilateral means. Ipsi means on the same side. Okay, so action, collectively, these help with extension of the upper cervical and ipsilateral rotation. Also, clinically, I want you to know that when the suboccipital muscles get flared up, which is very common because of forward head posture, there's a nerve that passes through these. Try to isolate the nerve here, called the greater occipital nerve. Okay, you can see the nerves there, the greater occipital nerves, and they do go up into the back of the head, and there's also some nerves in here that will get infringed upon. Okay, so when these muscles get tight, because of forward head posture, it does start to cause some suboccipital tension headaches. Okay, and some of the conservative management techniques such as dry needling and other soft and hard tissue manipulations help significantly to reduce the pressure on those nerves. Plus ergonomic training to have the person be in better posture. Okay, keep in mind most people have forward head posture and or they look down. Very common. Computer work, phones, TV, driving, whatever. Everybody slouches, and over time that puts a lot of pressure on those suboccipital muscles and thus can cause headaches. So with those treatments, the person gets tremendous amount of relief.